Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and good afternoon here from the Blizzard Arena in Los Angeles. I'm Achilles, joined by Wolf, jumping on the cast for the Seoul Dynasty versus Atlanta Reign match. This is a really important one and also a really exciting one. Atlanta have been looking pretty darn good as of late. Dynasty especially on fire here in Stage 3 after having missed out on the Stage 2 playoffs.
Haven't dropped a single map yet this stage, and they are rocketing up in terms of their map differential. You can see at 9 and 7, they have the plus 13. So, you know, just one win away from tying with Spark in terms of match score, but they are massively ahead in the maps. The Reign down at 12th, very good map differential for them. They've had some tough opponents in this stage, so, you know, a bit of a tough start, but it will get easier from here.
Yeah, I mean, and any match win here for the Dynasty would put them up into that top 6 above the Fuel and the Spark. Taking a look at the Atlanta Reign, though, it's been a really rough start. They haven't picked up a victory, but you can see how close some of these matches were. The 3-2 and 3-2 versus the Shock and the Dragons. Taking a map off the Titans in itself is a bit of a challenge, but now they have to try to get through the Dynasty and maintain those higher level performances.
So this is the top of the hill. This is the halfway point before you start going downwards, right where it gets easier. You face Fusion, or on a losing streak, then the Defiant, and then lastly Mayhem. So if you could take this win, you can feel comfortable you're going to come away from this stage with a positive record. You could feel comfortable you're going to get that 4-3. You've lost very few map differential points against top tier teams in the stage as well, so Atlanta can't be unhappy with how this has gone so far.
Yeah, but on the other side, the Seoul Dynasty, they are a major force right now. As you said, they have not dropped a single map in Stage 3. And now they're looking to extend that further by taking another 4-0 against the Reign. I think this is going to be a bit of a tougher job for them, given how the Reign have played as of late. But these guys, they've been mixing up the roster so much, you never really know what you're going to get. It's like a box of chocolates, as Mama always said.
Yeah, well, I mean, this team has tailored their roster for their opponent's team, and if you take a look at the player playtime across this roster, you can see the map record is there as well. Hailey has actually been slotted in most of the time, and I think a lot of that comes to him being a rookie player who needs more playtime to, you know, become more comfortable with all these players. But you can see if you look at the lowest playtime, it's actually Jaehong, which is a little bit surprising. But even then, spreading it out across 12 players, they almost have exactly even playtime, just under 50 minutes. So they have so many rosters they can use, and they're using these players to their full potential, and that's what's great to see. No one stuck on the bench.
Yeah, well, I know. I don't usually look at Twitter before the matches, so I have no idea who's going to be playing on stage for the Seoul Dynasty today. Let's go ahead and find out as we bring them out. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Seoul Dynasty.
Reppin' 82, I'm in Seoul City.
An 8-0 start for the Dynasty this stage. Jaehong walks out first. We know he'll be in this roster today, along with their new player, Illicit. And I mean, look, in the past you might have said, especially at the beginning of the season, Atlanta is favored. But with Seoul this stage, this is the cleanest we've seen them in a long time. They've shown more versatility, more variety in this roster. We know that they're capable of running the Sombra. They beat New York in the Stage 1 playoffs that way. And with this roster where you've got Jaehong in here, you can shut down a lot of the shenanigans that you sometimes see from the Atlanta Reign. Marvel, the starting tanks, a little bit more passive with Zumba to back him up.
Yeah, have that protection. See if they can extend this, get another 4-0 on the day, or if Atlanta can get the upset and put a win on the board here for the first time in Stage 3. Let's go ahead and bring them out, the challengers in this series, the Atlanta Reign.
They are halfway through this stage right now. And it's a losing streak, but against extremely tough opponents. And this is absolutely winnable for the Atlanta Reign. They can defeat Seoul here. They can break the streak. All it takes is a map to stop that win streak for the Seoul Dynasty this stage. And it would just give them that it's all downhill from here feeling heading into the second half. We will see Dako starting today, so no big surprises here for the Atlanta roster.
Yeah, it seems like they've kind of figured things out. We haven't seen so many changes since Dako kind of went MIA earlier on in the season. Now he is here to stay, and he has kind of been the backbone of this team. Ever since he came back in, Atlanta Reign started surging up again in the standings, and I mean, he's just been a phenomenal D.Va player, was known as one of the best back in Korea, if not the best. And now he's making a solid argument for that, coming in now with Stage 3 with his performances that he's been putting up.
He was known mostly for his damage output and fast self-destruct build times in Korea. But, you know, he's great at absorbing Graviton surges in this meta because, you know, obviously in Korea it was a different meta back then, a different somber one at that. But, you know, in the present, in today, there were some moments where he wasn't fielded. He was missing for a while. You know, everyone remembers the Where's Dako, but he's back. He's solidified himself as a starting player on this roster, and he looks like he's gelling with the team better than ever. He's very close with the Seoul players, however, so we'll see how he feels about this one. If they could break the streak, it would be huge.
And it would be. Let's go ahead and take a look at the map set presented by Toyota. Oasis to begin the series, followed up by Volskaya for our Assault map, Eichenwalde for Hybrid, and Dorado for Escort. Atlanta Reign going to be wanting to come out swinging, put that win on the board here with control, and stop the win streak from the Seoul Dynasty. Let's see if they can do it as we start off on Garden.
Pretty full crowd today as well at the arena, and always is when Seoul Dynasty is playing. They've got so many fans across the world, you know, here in Los Angeles, but in Korea as well, Europe.
Well, you gave them a chance. How about the Atlanta fans? Any of you guys out there? See, there you go.
Well, that's what I like to hear.
Those are the ones who are going to be on the flights over to the Atlanta homestand later this stage, I'm sure.
My my hometown.
Well, there you go.
Let's see what this roster brings to the table. We'll have Zumba on the D.Va. He hasn't played the Zarya just yet, but that may be some mix-up later if they do end up flexing over to the Sombra for him to suit that Zarya role. But for now, it's just going to be the mirror Rein v. Rein here. Marvel, usually the more passive Reinhardt of these two versus Popo. But he's got the high ground control. He drops down.
Yeah, drop down coming through. Dogman just left by himself, though. Completely cut off, and the rest of the team didn't push forward. Thought he would be safer on that flank off the side, and instead does get picked off. So that's going to be the first cap going over to Seoul Dynasty. You can see right here, Jaehong built up 70% Dogman after getting killed, only going to be at 33% for that Transcendence.
The dying early is going to cost you, and it's not a mistake by Dogman why he's caught there, but it's a greedy play. He wanted to get that flanking position to perhaps get a kill or build that extra ult charge, but he was called out for it. Look at Zumba here. He's ready for the flank on the high ground. Kind of cut this team in half.
Munchkin gonna get booped back. He's on the low ground, but has high energy and is looking to knock Dako out of that mech, build up that ground. Sergeant Dogman is gonna get picked again. This time Zumba comes up with the kill. Crucial members going down on the side of the Atlanta Reign. Now Dako gonna be gone. That's gonna be another retreat here for Atlanta as they pull back towards the spawn. Seoul Dynasty, they get to hold the point, tick up, and not have to use any ultimates.
You could really feel the more passive style of the Dynasty coming through with Marvel, Zumba, Munchkin on the front lines. They're playing around the high ground, but they're also having this pincer with Zumba. He's able to find that last bit of damage on the Dogman. Again, he's in this box up on the high ground, and if anyone gets low, he's just gonna drop down like a falcon from the sky.
Sitting in that window. Dogman does now have the Transcendence online.
Again, he's looking for Dogman.
Yep. Gets a bit of damage in, but can't force the ultimate. We're about to have 6v6 as far as the ults are concerned. Gravity coming out. Baby Bay caught alone into that one. Now the rest of the team coming forward. But it's too late. He goes down. Dogman does hold on to that Transcendence for the extended fight. Now it's going to be the sound barrier coming through from the Seoul Dynasty. Transcendence out from the Atlanta Reign. Shatter comes through. 3 knocked to the ground. The beat follows up from Masa. Gets that shielding out, but Dako's still going to be taken down. And there's just so much damage here from the Seoul Dynasty. They clean up Popo as well. Now pushing forward, 93% on the board for the Seoul Dynasty. As members of Rangers still dying, they might not be able to tag this.
You know, the thing is, Jaehong used the trance there, but I think it was absolutely the safest thing to do. That should be it with everyone trickling in. It's not going to happen. Super one-sided start.
Just trying to gate them back. Popo goes through with the Wrecking Ball, gets a pile driver. But one after the other, they will get taken down. The grab onto Baby Bay again. Instant turnaround to melt him out of the mech. And that's going to be the first round here. Garden going the way of Seoul Dynasty, 100-0.
Munchkin's always been a, you know, low-risk type player throughout his career, even on the Tracer, the Widow. He's always been looking for the safest kill possible, the safest pick. And that kill onto Baby Bay earlier was exactly what they needed, because Baby Bay's grab was more efficient. It caught more members, it was doing more damage overall. But in that exchange, he died solo. And when you lose your Zarya, you don't have the damage output to follow up no matter how good your grab is. So even though Babybay's grab looked better on paper, Munchkin's grab set up the kill that they needed there, preventing that extra damage. And Munchkin, he doesn't like to take risks. He likes to look for the safe play, and that was absolutely it.
Yep.
Super calculated.
Very nicely done so far from the Dynasty. Now we shift over to University, but won't be seeing any alterations. Still the 3-3 mirror coming through both of these squads. Marvel already playing quite far up over towards the Rain entrance. Alyssa going to be taken down. The force of the Rain pushing forward just a little bit too much, but they do manage to answer back and take down Pokepo. So a 1-for-1 exchange so far as Marvel desperately tries to stay alive with that shield raised. It's back around the corner, slowly getting topped back up.
Airster bleeding down here. He's going to have to retreat. The neutral fight is won by the Dynasty.
For now, but now we get the continued fight. The rally out from Airster to begin. Getting that armor through the Rain, get the cap. As Marvel continues to get chunked down. Masa, you can see him playing up on the wall here. The Lucio trying to isolate somebody. Instead, the Rain just go ahead and charge forward directly at the Dynasty, and this time they will come up with the fight victory and maintain control of the point.
It was the rally from Airster that really allowed them to reapproach the point, and they also get an ult lead, albeit slightly, from this play. He did more damage in that fight, massively more than Alyssa, who still hasn't quite gotten his rally yet, and that's the huge thing. I mean, he almost died for it. He almost died, but almost isn't enough for the Dynasty there. He gets the rally, and they can turn things around, so great decision there. And he might even lap Illicit. He's able to do the same here on this defense of the point.
Oh, Babybay looking to regain that energy. Was taken down the latter half of that last fight. Bubble forward, on to Pokepo, tries to build up, now at 70. Graviton Surge online, tosses that one down. Shatter comes out, Pokepo gonna get picked. He gets stunned by the Shatter, but they just managed to go ahead and pick him off right there into the front. Now Airster gonna be taken down as well. Seoul Dynasty on the point, looking for the flip as Atlanta Rain approach 60%. They will have it.
Yep, and that's a great fight win for the Dynasty. Efficient as they can be. And with Dogman lacking the Transcendence, using it, you know, arguably wasting it in that last fight, Munchkin now has the opportunity to shut this down with just one ultimate. And in the longer fight, they've got Sound Barrier for insurance. Marvel's got to be careful about taking this extra damage, though.
Yep, but now grab onto the entry. Shatter after Pokepo, not able to find anything, nor will the bomb here from Dako. Zimba will be melted out of the mech as he drops onto the low ground to try to stay alive. Sound Barrier comes through from Toby. They trying to take the fight. So far, just the Diva mech, the only casualty that we can see. But now, as I say that, Marvel will be taken down. J-Hulk wins out on the Zenyatta battle, however, takes out Dogman, but now is trying to escape from a high-energy Babybay. He gets a bit of support from Zumba. Body blocking, managed to keep him alive for a bit longer. Babybay is still a force to be reckoned with, and now the Transcendence has to be used, and Babybay is still holding on to that Graviton Surge. Slams it down, Toby caught out, will melt. Both supports going to be eliminated. The point's still not flipped for the Rain, though.
They need to win this fight now, and it's just too late. I have serious questions about Babybay's grab there. It wasn't going to be enough to turn it. Even if they win this fight, they've lost so much time, and Munchkin's about to have his own grab.
Taking down Marvel would be a huge boon for them, and they managed to do so. Dogman able to get those orbs in behind the shield to cut down that front line. Babybay with a sliver of HP. Munchkin, high energy, gonna be grabbing, but he whiffs it. He was trying to catch Babybay by himself, but instead he wrapped around the backside, stays alive, and that cost Seoul the fight.
Two, back-to-back from both teams. Less than ideal Graviton Surges, but the one from Babybay in the long term does give them a slight edge there. Would have been very, very bad if the Munchkin grab had connected, though, or if Marvel had lived, because then they wouldn't have great tools to reflip the point. They make it happen, though. Dogman has the Transcendence rebuilt. Munchkin's gonna, Masa's gonna have his barrier.
Bomb out. Shatter coming through as well from Pokepo, trying to keep them back, but doesn't knock anybody to the ground. Marvel holding on to Widow's own, but Toby is going to be eliminated to get a boot forward. Masa playing along that wall this entire time. Gets that isolation, comes up with multiple kills for himself, and now Rain push forward as they seek to close this out. Can anybody tag in? Looks like the answer is yes. Zumba is back alone on the point, trying to take down Airster. Gets him low, but to no avail, cannot come up with the kill. Now the Baby Diva going to be taken down. The Shatter only hits Masa, but he'll be safe. Transcendence out from Dogman coming through. As they try to close this one out, OT starting to tick away, and the members from Seoul Dynasty getting picked off one after the other. Seems like we will be going to a third and final round as soon as they can clean this one up. The beat for good measure, 175 Now we have to settle it all at City Center.
City Center, a map where we could see a lot more variety of composition as well. A lot of teams running the Pharah here, some of these triple or quad DPS with the Wrecking Ball, but neither of these teams really like that style, so I think we are going to still remain in the mirror as we head into this one. Atlanta Reign really bringing that map back on University through, I mean, a lot of great team fights. The pick for Dogman there as well onto Toby is what really solidified their shot at victory. Gonna have to look for a little bit more consistency with the grabs for Baby Bay. But otherwise, his damage output has been good, and it's tough when you're the Zarya that's always the target of Munchkin, who's looking for these solo grabs to eliminate your effectiveness in team fights or just to right out kill you at the beginning of the fight. So, you know, it's a tough position to be in if you're Baby Bay. It is the
Fighting
mirror.
around the jump pad.
Yeah, for the high ground control.
Yeah, a bit unorthodox compared to what we usually see. Illicit nearly taken down there. You see Masa again, just wall riding along this side, trying to push somebody into the middle of his team so they can take them down. Soul still fighting for the most part here on the floor, and Taco's gonna get knocked out of the mech.
The Zumba flank.
So a very nice start for them, and now Popo gonna be taken down. Marvel is on the trade, but still gonna be a trade up for the Seoul Dynasty unless Taco makes it back into that mech. Finally gets the call it down. Can he make it through? Tries to get somewhere safe, but Zumba hounds him down off screen, manages to get that elimination. In the meantime, Jae-Hong has just been spamming away with these left clicks like a madman. Point was taken by Reign briefly. They get the 17%, but now Seoul has control.
Yeah, you know, it's not too bad for the Reign. They lose it here either because they built about the same amount of ultimates as the Dynasty. Big props, though, to Zumba for hounding down all three of those kills in the back, flanking there, just keeping the percentage low at the end of the day. High ground control here again for him, and also Munchkin as the Reign try to come around this corner. They're at risk of getting grabbed. Baby Bay with his team this time, so he won't get solo grabbed, you'd have to think.
A lot of damage poured onto Toby, but he makes it around the wall. Himself alive. Grab comes through, answered out by Baby Bay. Both teams gonna be locked away from each other, but Zumba's got a bomb into the back. Looking for the kills, but unable to find Annie. Shatter hits, however, catches two. The beat instantly down by Masa to give them that shielding. Stay alive in the fight. Toby is still holding on to his. He'll go ahead and use it right as Marvel gets jumped on. He's still surrounded, still getting juggled around. The boot back into the team. Manages to take him down at the cost of Dogman for the Reign. Is that going to be enough for them to try to get the flip? Zumba completely cornered, body blocked in, had no way to escape. This might be Reign able to regain control, but Jae-Hong is trying to keep it here as Popo gets taken down. Now Baby Bay gonna fall as well. Jae-Hong scoops up a double kill. Dago knocked out of the mech. And the Seoul Dynasty, despite losing their front line, are actually gonna hold on to the point.
They played the more sustainable position, and it did cost them. You know, Zumba getting that D-mech there was really painful for them, but they had more healing. They played around the edge of the point, so they were able to solidify when the respawns came through, a better position than the Reign. And now they've got another trance available for Baby Bay's upcoming grab because Jae-Hong did so much damage in that last fight. And once again, high ground control, and that gives so much room for the Dynasty to look for solo targets. Marvel's gonna drop down, but Zumba still up there with everybody else, can flank, can threaten a different position here for Popo's shield. So many things you could do when you have high ground control on this map.
Zumba maintaining that here as we hit 99%. Atlanta Reign need to win the fight. Dogman still halfway. That next Transcendence, Baby nearly has a grab, but Jae-Hong has his ultimate. It's a very difficult fight here ahead of the Reign, and then they have to hold the point all the way up to 100 if they want to shut down this win streak. Masa already gonna get picked. Illicit manages to find that one. Shatter out from Popo, knocks him to the ground, but he is just so weak. The shield bash comes through. Answering Shatter now from Marvel. They are just cleaning up how Taco gonna be taken down. They get off the point, and Seoul Dynasty continue. Now 9-0 in stage 3.
Yeah. And 6-0 on this map. The win streak continues for the Dynasty. A close starting map, but they looked a little bit cleaner in terms of these longer team fights.
That they did. To start off with that 1-0, let's see if Atlanta Reign can tie us up when we come back from the break.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Seoul Dynasty able to take the first map of the series. Oasis gone their way with a 2-1 now. Looking to continue the match record even further by maybe picking up a win on Volskaya.
Saw that fan sign to the right of the crowd there. It says Munchkin on it in Korean, and Munchkin has been having a phenomenal performance on the Zarya. You know, sometimes a little bit inconsistent previously compared to Fitz. You know, in most analysts' eyes, Fitz has been the most consistent Zarya at the end of things between him and Fleta, for Munchkin and Fleta. But Munchkin had a great Oasis, ended up out-damaging Baby Bay by 2,000 there in the end. Managed his energy well, good decision-making with his grabs overall. You know, he didn't have that one whiff, but you could at least see what the idea was there, was trying to solo grab Baby Bay again to prevent that damage. And it's refreshing to see such improvement from the Dynasty roster. Sometimes some players just work better together than others. As much as we'd love to see more illicit Pharah, it will once again be the 3-3 mirror. No Sombra to be found here on Volskaya. Kind of a rarity these days, to be honest.
Yeah, it has been trending in the direction of that Sombra. But for now, back to the standard 3-3 here. Push up on to this backside high ground, wrapping around the point.
A little bit rarer to see this wrap around in the mirror. So you make yourself vulnerable as you touch the point.
Oh, poke. Gets that bubble just in time, otherwise Jaehong would have put a lot of damage out onto that enemy Reinhardt. Marvel playing further forward. Gets that bubble, poke going low. Can they kill him off though? Wrap around the back of the point. Yep, Dako getting knocked out of the back. Poke does not stand a chance. Dogman taken down just before this explosion of kills. And that is just going to be A going over to Dynasty. 7 minutes about to be on the clock.
Jaehong gets the 1v1 kill versus Dogman there on the side. Zumba comes in from a flanking angle, different angle there than they expected, helps kill the tank line. And they walk into B with a pretty slight ultimate lead. They won A so hard that they didn't actually get the longer fight ultimate charge. They don't have a grab. It's possible to get a double cap here, which happens a lot in this meta on Assault. But as Atlanta Reign, you're not too terrified with this. The biggest thing they're missing, though, is support ults.
Oh, well, that's going to be a very crucial pick. Dogman instantly erases Jaehong. He had that Transcendence, and now the rally used by Illicit is going to mean nothing. And the rest of the Dynasty just have to try to retreat, so Atlanta Reign to live for another day, and Dogman builds up nicely towards that Transcendence.
That's huge. I mean, they get so many things from this. Like you say, they have the answering Transcendence now. They eat the rally. They kill Jaehong. They buy about 30, 40 seconds of time off of the first push defense. So now the Atlanta Reign feel great about their chances of really whittling that time bank down because they're even in terms of ult economy and they have positional advantage.
Munchkin trying to poke his head out there. Gonna get to take it off. Baby Bank offers up a significant amount of damage here right now. Lobs in that grab. Transcendences come through from Jaehong, but they charge out onto Marvel. Maybe Zumba might have caught him instead. Hard to tell either way. He's going to be knocked out of the mech. Now Marvel going lower and lower, trying to survive, but just getting beaten, battered around like a pinball. Atlanta Reign, they hold off another onslaught.
You toss in the grab like that, you're never really going to have a good opportunity to get a pick because Trance is going to come up. But they went for the U-turn and pulled Marvel out, and all the resources of Seoul Dynasty had to go into Marvel to keep him alive, and then they just couldn't win the fight afterwards. He ends up being the second to die regardless, struggling to rejoin his team. It's great for the Reign that they trade grabs here as well as Transcendences because, again, they're maintaining that ult lead ever so slightly, and they maintain high ground with it.
Drop down again, aggressive play from the Atlanta Reign this time. Their health bars go rather low, so decide to pull back over towards the point rather than fight up in that initial choke. This gives an opportunity for Seoul Dynasty to advance over onto the point. Shatter out from Popo, meets the shield of Marvel, so no one knocked to the ground. Marvel goes low, the barrier comes through from Toby, trying to keep him alive. Bomb up over the top from Zumba. Doesn't manage to find any kills. Grab comes out from Baby Bay, but it lands straight in onto the center, and no one from the Dynasty is there, and suddenly they have it in. They're ticking up. 2 ticks nearly gained on the point. Masa taken down as well as Dako. Entering Shatter out from Marvel, knocks a few to the ground. Either way, they're zoned back and have to play forward, but as they advance, they get picked off. Dynasty get the finish here on Volskaya.
A lot of this, again, is on the back of Zumba's Diva. He's finding the angles he needs to help finish these kills and to split up the team. Well played. Rough start there on B, but they turn it around real quick.
Yeah, very nicely done, Seoul Dynasty. Still finished with a very nice time bank, 421 for these guys. Let's see what the Atlanta Reign pick up on their attack.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're halfway through Volskaya. Seoul Dynasty able to get point B with 4 minutes and 21 seconds remaining in the time bank. Now it's time for the Atlanta Reign to go on the attack. Of course, we do have a match coming up next Thursday on Disney XD for all you lovely people watching there right now. Shock versus Boston. Make sure you guys tune in June 20th at 4 p.m. EST.
For the match at hand, I'm really curious to see what Dogman's lifespan is like before the first trance, because when Seoul Dynasty has had points controlled, namely on Oasis, and Atlanta Reign has to wrestle back control, it's often been Dogman who's the target, who's been picked first by Zumba and crew, as he is off of the side flanking. Let's see if he stays with the team this time. So far, look, again, the target, but he gets through the gate.
Yep. Good fire strike there from Marvel.
So much damage done to the Reign, though, on their approach, and the shield of Popo as well. See it reflected in Masa's ult charge on the Lucio, how much damage he had to heal there, doubling Toby at the moment.
Does help him out. He's getting that sound barrier built up. Marvel, moment here on the low ground. Continues to take a beating. Try to top him back up. Those armor packs flying from Illicit. Already, though, 1 tick going to be snagged by the Atlanta Reign. Seoul Dynasty going to play this one out as patiently as possible, but Reign is making them step to him, and it's going to cost Marvel as he gets taken down. Popo pushed in, however, will also be eliminated. Toby comes up with that, but now Zumba knocked out, so the front line starting to fracture for the Seoul Dynasty. Baby Diva going to be finished off. Dako going to be knocked out of the mech before he can get that self-destruct online, but Illicit wrapped around the back, has the rally. Rolling the armor is not enough to keep him alive, but J-Hawk still doing work. Wins out the 1v1 versus Dogman. Baby Bay finds Munchkin. J-Hong gets picked by Masa, and it seems like Reign have point A.
A near turnaround, but notice one thing. Munchkin's no grab. He had to use that in the last fight, or he felt he had to use it, and that's huge. That's a massive missing tool.
Yep.
And that was really greedy. We talked about him playing pretty safe normally, in his career, just normally speaking, but in this case, he takes a massive risk. It does not pay off. The Reign have that extra ultimate, which is extremely important, and it may be what leads to that opening kill on B here to get them the better time bank. Jaeyoung's got a trance, but as we know, that's not always enough to save you, especially when Poco's gonna hit those U-turns and pin you into the wall, or pull you out of the trance, or both.
Well, Shatter out from Marvel, only able to find Dako. They're trying to knock him out of that mech, but it happened unable to do so. Poco manages to find a listen. So very solid start to the fight here for the Atlanta Reign as they look to establish this more significant time bank. The grab comes down over onto the corner, charge going out. Marvel gonna be taken down in transit. Bomb over the top from Zumba, unable to find anything. Things start looking rather good for Atlanta as they already pick up 2 ticks here on point B with 5.5 minutes remaining. Zumba dropping down. The defense matrix does nothing to mitigate the damage coming out from Baby Bang, so he gets taken out. Marvel drops over onto the wrecking ball, has to go back over onto the point. Graviton Surge comes down, but they need the kills, and they're unable to find them. Marvel will be eliminated, and they will pick it up. 5:14 on the clock for Atlanta Reign.
Very nicely done there. The conversion of that kill there, the final blow onto Airster is what allows them to win the longer fight, and they just played it perfectly after that.
Nearly a minute advantage for Atlanta. Let's see what happens in OT rounds. And here we go, get strapped in, ladies and gentlemen. Wolf, you and I just yesterday had a very long match of Volskaya. 6-5 was the final record. With these time banks, I think we could definitely get close to that.
It's the meta, you know? I mean, it really is. Sometimes, yeah, it's very difficult for the defenders if you lose that first fight. I mean, straight up, you're gonna have a rough time, especially when Munchkin makes that very risky grab call. I mean, the time bank's going to be pretty big. That's just how it goes. And we know there's some changes coming to Assault later on, but not in the Overwatch League yet. So it's just going to be this way for a little bit longer, unless you can stop that first A cap, which the defenders are always looking to do. That's how you eliminate those time banks. And that's what the Reign is going to try to do right now as they continue to hold this center high ground. Let's see if once again Zumba can find that angle, because he was the one who got those kills in the last fight from coming from this side, blowing up that tank line. Dogman again alone here on the flank, doing the damage.
He's got some teammates standing in front of him this time, and just a little bit further up, so less likely for him to get collapsed upon. Fire
drop on him.
Clips him. Trying to keep Dako in that mech. We'll go ahead and get him bursted back up. For now, though, Dynasty nearly grabbing 2 ticks for free. Dogman just trying to break down this shield that Marvel's holding up. Oh, he goes so very low. Nearly able to get the elimination onto that enemy Rhine. The Popo's actually going to be the one eliminated. J-Hulk comes in with the kill, and that's crucial because he was the one closer to that Earth Shatter. Baby Bang pushing forward, still getting tagged up. Sees Illicit over onto the side. The rally coming through as he tries to survive. Airster going to be matching now, but Dako gets knocked out of the mech. Marvel taken down, but Dogman, Baby Bang, both gone in the hands of Rio J-Hulk. Takes him down now, looking for more. Masa going to fall. Seoul Dynasty have broken their way through onto A to get that cap. They'll get that small 30-second bump up. So they have over 3 minutes to try to take B.
Coordinated Dynasty Tigers coming down right there at the end as well on the cap. They had to use the Graviton Surge. So Atlanta Reign, they lose the point, but they do have control of the ult economy here. And they've put a lot of resources into taking Zumba out in that last fight and demeching him, but during that time, Munchkin got the grab, had high energy. We'll see how they make the focal point of their engage here this time, because they have to be proactive with the ult advantage they have. Baby Bay is going to be the one to do that.
Graviton Surge is ready. Holding onto that one, goes ahead, lets loose with it. J-Hulk manages to get through there with that Transcendence, so no one going down on the side of the Dynasty yet. Dogman still has his trance. Bomb coming out now from Dako, looking to create an opening, but doesn't find any picks. The sound barrier was used in response by Toby. Shatter coming down, doesn't catch anybody from Marvel. Going lower and lower, pushes his way into that Mega Pack room. Scoops that up, but for now, the Dynasty have to wait. Still a couple ultimates waiting to come up. Munchkin 70% away from that
That's the big
Graviton
one.
Surge.
That's the big one. Baby Base grab not so good there in the choke. Couldn't block any of the healing.
Poke into the front, sends a shatter straight into the shield. The grab coming through, sound barrier out, but bomb over the top, looks for the pick, but I think we'll find anything is Zumba. Marvel stunned up for the moment. Jaehong now using the Transcendence, but Baby Bay, he's nearly get the grab online, 10 more percent, surges his way up. If they're gonna be taking down the grab, now coming through, but Dogman, Dako, Baby Bay, all taken down despite the Graviton Surge. It means nothing to the Seoul Dynasty. They just shrug it off, and now they're on B. Looking to get this finished with plenty of time in the bank. Airster swaps over onto the Wrecking Bolt, but they instantly stun him, finish him off in Dynasty. They are now 4 points on Volskaya.
Seoul Dynasty took that top right approach in that small room, and we're seeing a lot of teams take this approach because it's very difficult to get value out of an EMP there. We saw yesterday the attempt from Carpe. If you go into that room as the Sombra, right, you're gonna get caught and die. If you go in there as the Zarya and you get the Graviton, if they have Transcendence, which Jaehong did, you can't really block the healing with any of your shields. For those who don't know, a Reinhardt shield, a Brigida shield, a Winston bubble, these things will actually block the healing from a Transcendence to prevent your teammates from being healed. But when they're all in that choke, when they're all in that room and you can't really enter, your own grab is kind of blocking you out from getting in there and getting in between the Transcendence and the grab itself, then you can't really get follow-up kills. You can't charge anybody out either because you're going to fall down to low ground. You've isolated yourself. So that grab from Baby Bay, the one advantage they had, it was difficult to use because Dynasty took that approach and they couldn't really capitalize on it. It's just really smart positioning from the Dynasty. Then they were able to get their own grab and win that longer fight.
I mean, also, you need pretty much your entire team operating on that high ground because you can't wrap around fast enough
you certainly
to go
cannot.
up the staircase
to
try to pick up those kills. It's what we saw yesterday, as you mentioned, Carpe with that EMP. He hit all 6 members on the enemy team, but no one was playing up on that high ground, so no one could try to capitalize. And it cost them in the end, it cost Rain here.
Yeah, it's not really a new thing to take that approach as the attacking team. It's just trying to prevent them to do so. There's multiple ways to do it, and Rain just kind of were reliant on their grab. It did not work out. But they've got a massive time bank here, and they absolutely can best that of Seoul Dynasty.
Oh, for sure. They did it once, why not twice? Pokpo, however, taking a lot of damage. Much more forward defense here from the Seoul Dynasty, changing things up. I like to see this, as everybody from Rain is just trying to pile into the garage here on the side. But now, they have themselves in a bit of a pickle.
They have been doing a ton of damage to Rain, but not killing them, which is giving them a lead multiple times.
Well, that's going to be the opening.
Yeah,
Man, always coming up clutch, it would seem, with these kills on the enemy's Zenyatta's, and taking out Jaehong is an absolutely massive one. Dogman himself will fall. The shatter from Marvel, unable to find anything. Now Zumba going to be knocked out of the mech and finished off by Dako. So Rain still looking good. It's a very long and slow run back for Jaehong to rejoin in with his team, and now with Munchkin gone, there's not much damage for the Dynasty. It means that Atlanta Rain, I mean, they're going to be looking at 4.5 minutes here to try to get that cap on B.
They use the rally. It's going to be on, 4 of the members here. It's going to fade down before they get to B. When you look at the follow-up here, Rain have the advantage in terms of ults, but they won't have positional advantage. It's not a massive lead. And potentially on the approach here, Jaehong can get the Transcendence from just a few cloaking right clicks and left clicks. So if they're going to take this advantage and really get a better time bank, I mean a massively better time bank, the fight has to be decisive and it has to be now. 90 energy is plenty enough to engage. Looking for the solo grab could be the option here. They don't commit.
No, just going to be holding on. But now 100 energy in behind Marvel as that stun comes through. They're trying to keep him alive. He is just constantly being pressured from each and every side. That final boop comes through. Popo scoops the kill. Toby going to be taken down just before he can get that barrier. Maybe they will be grabbed up. He uses his own. But it still seems like it's going to be Atlanta coming up with the victory as Zumba gets taken down. Toby going to be looking to rejoin, drop that beat to try to buy a little bit more time. 3.5 minutes remaining. Munchkin under fire, nearly eliminated, but the shielding comes through from the sound barrier. And his high energy they need to keep him alive and in this fight. If he goes down, that could just about be it.
Oh,
Shatter out
Shatter.
from Marvel is absolutely huge. Pokemon Masa taken down, Taco knocked out. That's going to be the sweep. Atlanta Rain held off. They make it to nearly 50%, but they cannot get the cap here.
Again, Munchkin comes out of spawn, builds up high energy. He's kept alive by great plays from Illicit, and he becomes this almost immortal force that does tons of damage as the Rains start to get low, as the supports come down. That is all it takes. And then in this case, we're going to take a look at Marvel's shatter there after it all. Only made possible because of Munchkin. Look at all the aggro he's taken there. He's down to a third health. They want to kill him. They know if they do, that's all the damage gone. He's the biggest threat. But that extra pressure that they have to kill him opens up a shatter angle.
Oh, Dogman, he does not make the jump! And Zumba just snatches him up.
Here's the counterexample to the previous grab from Baby Bay. This time, not only was Dogman, he missed the jump, but he didn't have trance. So, it's, as Seoul Dynasty, you know, if they don't have trance, it's an amazing grab there, because there's just no way to stop all the damage that comes through when you're all grouped up. If there is a trance behind them, if say had Dogman both made the jump and had trance, obviously it's not his fault he doesn't have trance, he had to use it in the previous fight, then it would have been a similar situation. But, you know, double-sided coin here, you know, in terms of how those grabs could be used in that room. Baby Bay's got his own, but I mean, Seoul, massive ult lead right now. We're about to cross the time banks here.
Yep, they have the Transcendence on their own. Grab going to be built up, Alyssa taken down. A good first pick here for the Reign. Transcendence used by Dogman, so they can just try to win out this fairly neutral fight. Bomb from Daco, unable to find any kills. Will make it back into the mech safely, but Airster going to be taken down. 1 for 1 so far with the faster run backs in favor of the Seoul Dynasty. Marvel going to be swapping over onto the Wrecking Ball. They'll be nearly with that sound barrier built up. Baby Bay gets the grab right here on the front, the entrance to the point, but Zumba is still going to be alive. Takes it back in the back and knocks Daco out of the mech after taking down Dogman. Zumba is on fire right now.
I believe he killed him in pilot form, in midair, before the bomb came down. His mech was in the air, so he must have. Gets the snipe, then gets the bomb kill there. And incredible plays from the tank line from Seoul Dynasty again here on the defense, despite Illicit being picked early. And now the Reign down on time bank, and also very low on ultimates here to try to make something happen. They may even have to use this rally to engage 10% before that's even ready. It's kind of a lose-lose fight, you know, in terms of fighting the neutral here as they get onto the point for Atlanta Reign. They need a pick, they need something.
Grab comes out. Catches them on the edge of that point. Marvel goes in for the pin, but it's going to be Illicit taken down. The barrier from Masa helps keep everybody alive. Neither have that rally armor coming through from Airster for the extended fight. Shatter comes down from Pokeball. They manage to find Munchkin, and they finish him off. Dogman taken low, but now Marvel going to be eliminated. Jayhong able to only trade one back as Masa does get taken down. Wrecking Ball's back through for Illicit, but instantly gets melted down. The fire strike to finish, and Reign will get the cap here on B.
And they do get it with a time bank. So there's a chance of victory here. They could certainly tie up the series. It's not a great one, but it is viable. It is possible.
They finished with under a minute. They get bumped up to that, so 2:18 to 1 minute. Let's see what happens in the second round of overtime. And here we go, 4-4 scoreline. Time banks significantly weakened compared to what we started with here from both of these squads. 2 minutes and 18 seconds for the Seoul Dynasty, 1 minute for the Atlanta Reign. We're able to finish with a bit of time remaining in that bank, so they get bumped up to a full minute for this attack.
Right now, Reign have to be thinking two things. They're thinking, A, we need to win this on the first push, which they have done before, they absolutely can do. And then we're just thinking about the defense. I mean, any team can double cap with 1 minute in this meta. Everything is possible. It's just the execution. I mean, you have to actually do it. But you know, in previous metas, 1 minute, you feel doomed. In this meta, you know that if you get that single kill, you could absolutely convert and get a double cap. So it's not hopeless.
Another far forward defensive start for the Seoul Dynasty. Atlanta Reign just going for that wraparound, get up through that high ground. Seems like they're going to be okay. So try to make their way on the point. 25 seconds remaining for the Reign. Not that much meaningful poke damage from either side, so the ultimates are still slow building. One neutral fight could decide it all as they try.
Zumba.
Ultimates online.
Zumba's on Daco. Daco's in trouble.
He's taken low. Poke gonna get stunned up. Daco will get knocked out of that mech, and now Poke eliminated. No defense matrix on top of him to try to keep him alive, and Again, Zumba just has Dogman's number, chases forward. Daco knows it's over. They will be held here, Seoul Dynasty. They have just over 2 minutes to take 33% of point A to move up 2-0 in this series.
Great start for the overtime here, the second overtime round of this map. And it's just, I mean, overall, Zumba is outperforming Daco in terms of what he's able to do on flanks and in positioning. He's actually behind in damage right now by a mere 700 points at the 7,800 to the 8,500 Daco currently holds. But the damage feels overall more meaningful. He's threatening Dogman on the back line. He's chasing down Daco when he gets low. He's making these picks happen. He's forcing Pokpo to turn around his shield oftentimes, which leaves him exposed to other forms of damage, like Jaehong, for example. Every time you force a Reinhardt to turn around as a Zarya, or excuse me, as a Diva, then guess what happens? Your Zen then gets more damage done, and then he gets Transcendence faster. And there's all these things that can happen. Sometimes you look at a Diva player's ult charge and you're like, well, is he doing that much damage? Sometimes it looks like he's not, but even forcing a Rein to turn around can make a big impact. The Reign are going to take a risk here. They know that it's a long hold they're going to have to force the draw and to break the streak. They're running the Winston and the Ana, something we see on maps usually that have much more narrow choke points to operate around, like Paris, for example, in this map pool, where you can operate around that small opening. Get a ton of Zarya charge, as well as the Winston ult charge. You got the solo healing. But you don't have as much safe sustain in terms of ults with the Ana, and that's what's going to be a problem if Dynasty does play slow and build up that Graviton surge.
So in the Bionade, hits the Rhine shield, so no one's going to get healed tonight, but despite that, Toby's still going to be eliminated, so a very nice pick-off for the Atlanta Reign as they try at least force out a draw here on this map. Popo is going to zap some people.
This is huge for the Reign. This is exactly what they want, because the Dynasty are trapped in here. They can't really leave, and they can't build ults, and this is just burning down the clock. This is perfect for the Reign. This is an ideal scenario. As Toby, you know, he's going to try to rejoin. He's caught between a rock and a hard place. He does get through.
Yeah, wrapping around the side. No one really to stick on top of him. Lucio a lot harder to kill as a Diva. Certainly is possible, but not as stationary as Zenyatta. So over onto the point, already halfway to victory are the Seoul Dynasty with a minute 15 remaining. Bionade going to be taken away by that defense matrix from Zumba, making sure that everyone can stay sustained. And Popo, it's taken down just a couple % shy of that primal range. Might have been enough to win them this fight. Now the grab comes through. Dogman uses the Transcendence. It's now going to expire, and Masa will be taken down. It's at the cost of Marvel and Toby, but Zumba keeps putting up the numbers. Both supports going to be taken down. They're zoned off the point for a moment. Maybe they stepped off that front corner, and Seoul Dynasty move up 2-0 in the set.
Absolutely great plays from Zumba again here. Defense, offense, he's got it all. He's gelling so well with this roster on the Diva, and they are one map away from continuing that streak.
Atlanta Reign now looking for a reverse sweep. Let's see what they can get done on the other side of halftime.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile.
Into the iris. Experience tranquility.
The Reign are still looking for their first win of Stage 3, but the Dynasty have yet to lose a match in Stage 3, and they're just a map away from another W, up 2-0 over the Atlanta Reign at the half. And we're doing our thing here at the Blizzard Arena. Malik here with Zoe and Matt. Mr. X, how you feeling about that first half, man? Atlanta looks strong so far, but
well,
just like they can't get it done.
Atlanta's looked good against the other top teams in the league this far. Not really surprised. I'm more surprised about how good Seoul Dynasty has looked. And, you know, when you saw, you know, Atlanta go up against, you know, San Francisco Shock that goes to Game 5.
Yeah.
They take the Dragons, another team that goes to Game 5.
Right.
This one doesn't look like it's going that way. I mean, the Seoul Dynasty has come in here, really put on a show.
They really do, but as you already said, Malik, it has been a close game. So far, I think, Dogman struggled a little bit on that first map. There were a lot of times where he got picked up very early in the fights, which put on, of course, a lot of pressure on the rest of his team. Also, Pokebo, there was a lot of pressure on the front line in that regard, mainly coming from Zumba and Munchkin. I think both of those players from the Seoul Dynasty has done a fantastic job at actually shutting him down. But I do think that on Volskaya, it could have gone either way, honestly.
Can we talk about how nuts Zumba has been lately? It's like he's returned back to his old form almost.
I mean, look, Zumba is a fantastic Zarya player that we've seen in the past.
Right.
I feel like when we talk about like top divas in the league, like we don't really, like, his name doesn't really come up a ton.
Right.
And we kind of hyped Dako up, right? Dako's made a tremendous impact for the Atlanta Reign, but Zumba really outplayed him in map number 1. I mean, he was fantastic, putting pressure onto Dogman in the backline all game long.
Absolutely. So let's take a look at the stats here to see who has the longer end of the stick. Is that a saying? I'm not sure.
Stronger,
Yeah, why not?
Longer.
Let's go with it.
We can go either way.
Pulling a bread.
The longer end
But
of the
yeah, as we
stick.
can see, like Zumba is clearly in the lead there in pretty much almost every metric. Not to say that Dako doesn't do a lot for his team. He's really trying his best to peel for the backline. But there is so much pressure on Dogman from Zumba as well as Munchkin that, I mean, you can only do so much as a single player when your tank is already being picked off.
I mean, 11 final blows plus all that extra damage, and they get like it's not like Zumba's kind of getting pocketed, right, and getting a ton of healing. They're about the same in terms of healing received. So there's not really a big difference there. It's just really good play from Zumba and Seoul Dynasty.
Zumba's just at the right place at the right time. He knows the winning conditions and all that. But let's go to Volskaya Industry. Another close match. That one went into extra innings per se, but Atlanta were just not able to pull it out at the end.
They weren't, and honestly, I'm a little bit miffed at some plays I've seen there. I think there are a lot of very liberal approaches from mainly Atlanta Reign when it comes to their ult usage. Baby Bay, I think he seemed to confuse Graph as a bit of a zoning ult. That's not what it is. That's not how you use Graph.
That's a very situational thing.
Yeah, there were a lot of moments where he just didn't have it at the ready when they really, really needed it. But on the other side, Seoul Dynasty also didn't play very clean with their ults, I would say.
Yeah, now the one highlight that we showed there from, I believe it was Dogman when he picks up Jaehong when he's jumping across. If he doesn't get that pick off, Jaehong has Transcendence there. That is Seoul Dynasty potentially setting like a record with like a 6-minute plus in the bank as they get both points. So that pickoff was huge from the Dogman of the Atlanta Reign. Really made the map look almost closer than it actually was.
Yeah, I think Dogman had a lot of great picks actually, and mainly they were on Jaehong. So I think it was a bit of a redemption arc coming in to this very map where he did have Jaehong's number for sure. And I know he must be elated every single time he picked him up right early in the fights.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really long map. I think a lot of the stuff that you think you saw from both teams, you know, just like 2 CP, you know, Salt, you really want to try and force some of those ultimates out. As we can take a look at the Zenyatta stats for this match thus far, damage goes in favor of Jaehong, more healing as well, you know, the final blows. I think this also speaks more to Zumba putting pressure on Dogman than exactly in the head-to-head matchup.
I'm actually surprised that Jaehong has so many more picks on Dogman than the other way around. For some reason, looking at the eye test, I felt like there were a lot more for Dogman. So I'm surprised to see that. However, that also, of course, takes into account the very first map where that was very clear in Seoul's favor.
Right. It looks like they're putting some extra pressure on Dogman. I saw Dako kind of targeting him a little bit. That aggression right there. What do you do as a Zenyatta if your team's not pilling for you, you know? All right, so we're moving to map 3. We got Eichenwalde coming up. Who does this map favor in this matchup?
Look, I think it does favor Seoul Dynasty. I think with the way they're playing right now and the way Eichenwalde is, pretty strong 3-3 map all the way from start to finish, especially point B to C. I think it definitely favors Seoul Dynasty.
There are a lot of moments on Eichenwalde where you can kind of branch away from a 3-3 as
Yeah.
well. So maybe we're going to see something like that. The only real variation we've seen so far was, I think, when Erster on Volskaya at the very end swapped onto that Ana pick, which can work really well. They had Pokeball on Winston, which didn't look too convincing. So I almost feel like it's going to be 3-3. And then, as Matt said, that should go in favor of the Seoul Dynasty.
Atlanta runs that composition with the Winston and the Ana when they think there's going to be either more damage dealers on the other side or Sombra. They ran it the other day against the Shanghai Dragons. So I think, potentially they thought Seoul Dynasty would come out with something just trying to get a quick cap at the end there. They came out with a traditional 3-3. I don't know if you'd see that through the rest of the series, though. I think Eichenwalde, I think you're going to see both teams go back to Reinhardt-based comps.
All right, well, Atlanta needs to do something differently because right now they're down 0-2. And the Seoul Dynasty, they're just one map away from keeping the streak alive. Can the Atlanta Reign put a kibosh to that? We're going to find out in just a second.
일단 제 이 프로게이머라는 직업이 저의 첫 사회 생활이면서 첫 직업이었는데 미국에서 쭉 일하고 있는데요.
부모님들은 그냥 열심히 하라 정도? 그냥 이제 네가 할 거 일 찾았으니까 열심히 해봐라 그 정도?
하시는 것 같아요. 근데 뭐 제 입장에서는 당연히 다 부셔버리고 오겠다는 마인드로 게임 하는 것 같아요.
Into the iris. Experience tranquility.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're halfway through this series. The Seoul Dynasty maintain their map win streak, now 10-0 here in Stage 3. Have not dropped one yet. And it looks like they have no signs of stopping. A much closer Volskaya there for them, but they're able to clinch out the victory in the end.
Yeah, they're almost going to be halfway to a golden stage if they win this series with a 4-0. When the streak is just immense for Seoul Dynasty. It's not up to the likes of what we've seen from Vancouver, what we've seen from the Shock, but for the Dynasty, it's impressive. Dogman picked early, 6-2 in the Zenyatta matchup, favors Jaehong, and also caught many times by Zumba. He's going to have to play a little bit more carefully as we head into Eichenwalde for our hybrid map. It's another map where Zenyatta flanks are very strong, very popular on A and also on the drawbridge, but the extra mobility that the D.Va has can cost you big. And if you're looking for, if you're trying to pick Jaehong, as they say, if you come for the king, you best not miss. And, you can either try to challenge Jaehong on the 1v1, but you better guarantee you're going to win that fight. If you stay for the solo for the flank, you better guarantee you call to your teammates when Zuma gets on you, because he's coming for you.
Well, that he is. Been playing this D.Va like a larger health pool tracer, really. bit of a bigger hitbox as well. But here we go, Dynasty pushing over onto the point. Munchkin tagged up just a little bit on that initial approach. Atlanta Reign so far, HP bar is looking pretty solid. But Airster, as I say, that falls low. Fire Strike not quite gonna hit. He hides inside and keeps himself safe. Marvel building up very rapidly for this Shatter. Pokpo not too much further behind him. Melissa gonna be taken down. That's one less shield to block out a Shatter for the Seoul Dynasty, so the retreat call will come through as they try to escape. Lives intact. It seems like they will be able to do so.
Ends up being a pretty even ult game here between these two teams. So, you know, you're not feeling horrible as the Dynasty here when you end up kind of flubbing this first push. Once again, we're going to see Zumba take the left side, but the rest of his team is coming with him this time. We'll see the Rain come out to meet them. Poco's got to be careful.
Rally coming out, the Shatter looking good, catches 3 members. Illicit taken down again, as he is a Munchkin. Marvel this time, not quite going to make it out of there. Was trying to take somebody down perhaps off the ledge, but will just be finished off. So far, very solid hold coming through from the Atlanta Reign.
Greedy positioning for Pokpo as well, but he's able to get the Shatter through that positioning as forward aggression. The bubble there to keep him safe. It's leading to a very ult-efficient team fight win there. The rally is used, but it's still active, just now fading away. So, you know, getting some good value out of that as well is Airster. And Munchkin doesn't have a grab. That's the biggest problem for the Dynasty. They don't really have a great initiation tool.
Oh, wrap around the backside, Shadow coming through, only catches Dako, and they can't knock him out of the mech yet. Take him down to about half HP, but otherwise, nothing to be found from that ultimate.
This is an opportunity now. Munchkin's got the grab. Solo on the Baby Bay again.
Grab for grabs, coming through, keeping everybody at a bit of a distance, just outside of arm's length from each other. And Transcendence is used by both of our Zenyatta's. Self-destructs for both Divas, sound barriers for both Lucios. Not as even as we can get at the moment, but Atlanta, the ones entrenched under the point. Bomb into the back from Zumba, looking for a pick, unable to find anything, forces the sound barrier from Masa. Marvel and Illicit both taken low, the beat comes through from Toby, gets those shields thin. But Marvel is the one who finds his pin, takes down Airster, now Pokpo will be eliminated as well. Seoul Dynasty, a war of attrition there, but they finally managed to break through. On to point A, just have to finish off Masa.
War of attrition indeed. I mean, a war of sustain at the end of it. And the bomb coming out from Zumba and the follow-up speed boost there from Toby is what forces Masa to react in sound barrier, meaning that Toby gets to use his sound barrier second, giving them the extra overshield that they needed to take a straight-up fight and eventually just power through that war of attrition you described. It's exactly right. And that's oftentimes how support ults go.
Maybe May.
Big Shatter.
Their high energy, but it's not going to matter. The Shatter, as you say, from Marvel, knocks him to the ground. So 2 kills swiftly go over to the side of the Seoul Dynasty, and now the rest follow. Baby Bay trying to escape.
And that's one of the...
But he's going to get dragged back over to the rest of the team.
It's one of the hardest places to break through on this map, next to the bridge itself, is in this choke point, the gate there. Once the, once the doorway is open.
A portcullis, perhaps.
Yeah, and I mean, it's usually the defender's advantage. It's hard to attack into it, let alone get a Shatter off into a concave position, and they made it happen. Marvel made it happen.
Oh, grab! Munchkin! Zinky comes in from below. Doesn't lead any kills, but forces that Transcendence out from Dogman. Baby Bay holding onto a grab himself. Will go ahead, use it. Illicit falls first. Now Munchkin joining. Jae-Hong just holding onto that Transcendence. Wasn't in position to try to keep anybody alive.
Yeah, knew his healing wasn't really going to reach his teammates. He's now caught alone and will be killed as he tries to make the escape. You know, the grab there from Baby Bay, it's not 100% necessary, but you might as well just guarantee you get to keep this high ground, and you should be able to, in theory, catch up to Munchkin and grab another Graviton Surge very early on, position that you have, especially with the cart so far away here for the Dynasty. They're going to either have to take the stairway indoors, or well,
great
maybe they
damage.
won't take anything at all.
I mean, fire strikes and those right clicks coming from Baby Bay leads into Illicit taken down. Now Marvel a bit cut off. Munchkin as well as Jae-Hong inside. Yeah, is going to be jumping off the side, trying to reset. We're down to 1.5 minutes. Toby's just gotten killed. This is looking pretty bad for Seoul Dynasty.
Without the cart here, Killers, you can't really walk around this corner where Pokpo is standing because you're taking too much damage. So you either have to take the right side stairways or the inside stairways to try to get that high ground back, force them to react to you. It's a pretty tough situation. As you can see here, they're trying to take the right side staircase, but the collapse comes through. They take a ton of damage. They're forced to rally. And then Atlanta Reign just backs away so they don't fight into the rally.
Both sides using that rally. Another bomb out from Simba. Pokemon drops that Earth Shatter, doesn't manage to find anything. Marvel applying some pressure, but he's gonna be taken down. Pokemon survives, and Dako with a self-destruct of his own takes down Simba out of the mech.
That's
I mean, this could just be it for them, really.
That's the real getting worked in the neutral right there. He got super outplayed in the Ryan v Ryan matchup there. Pokepo swinging better, having the better angle. He took the risk to try to go for the pin. Pokepo sidesteps him and swings him to his death there with a final left click as he's trying to charge away. Having the better confidence there despite not having the shatter. Now Baby Bay's got high ground grab potential.
Grab comes through from Munchkin first, manages to get Pokepo outside of the castle. But in an awkward position, but oh man, Marvel comes around the corner. It's a 4-man shatter. And that might just be enough for them to finally break open this cart and start advancing towards B. It is, but it's still a long road ahead. About halfway there, still getting ready to round that final corner to get across the bridge.
Surprising that Baby Bay doesn't use the grab earlier. Waits till the last second, uses the wall grab, doesn't catch. Marvel, it doesn't prevent him from hitting the shatter. Everyone on the Reign they don't have their feet on the ground. It's a big one.
Shatter coming through, doesn't find anyone other than Toby, but he is still safe, not taken down. The armor from the rally from Illicit still keeping him alive, and Baby Bay will get finished off. Toby comes up with the kill. Dynasty still have to be careful though, because Masa is alive and he's got these ledges to play around as he looks for some boobs. He and Toby go back and forth, but Marvel finds another shatter. Knocks 2 to the ground, the kills come in, and Seoul Dynasty are still in it. A long OT push comes through, and they bump up now a minute and a half in the time bank.
This bridge has always belonged to Lunatic Kai, and you've got Zumba on the roster today here, Jaehong and Toby. I mean, since the beginning, since World Cup 2016, where Zumba had the amazing window grab here, I mean, this is their territory, their battleground, and they are going to make a great stand there in overtime. And now they have potential to get C here through that great team fight without using ults.
Lobbed in grab here from Munchkin. Marvel looking for the pin, unable to find one. He might have clipped on the Dogman, perhaps. Either way, doesn't come over the kill. Bomb into the back from Dako. Looking to cause some disruption. The bubbles come in, but Jaehong, this is not safe enough. He gets taken down, and now Seoul Dynasty have to reset and go for one final push. Jaehong, he could have committed the Transcendence, but he knows that grab from Baby Bay was becoming available and needs to have that defensive ultimate for the Graviton Surge.
If you try to flip the fight around using your Transcendence, you might maybe be able to get a pick or start to, turn it around, but then the grab comes through after you're out of it. Now they've got a really nice angle to grab here. Baby Bay does.
Coming through, the shatter catches 3. Marvel falling low, gonna be taken down with 15 seconds left on the clock. But Illicit manages to get the boom, the whip shot coming through, knocks Dako off the side of the bridge. Baby Bay uses the grab. They have to get back to the cart. Zumba gonna be taken down. Grab comes through from Munchkin. Catches him here outside the castle. We've got Toby in the back, trying to contest the cart. He's gonna be hounded down. Airster manages to find the kill. Somebody else has to tag in time. Munchkin being body blocked. They cannot make it. Despite the kills coming through for the Dynasty, cannot tag it, cannot finish Eichenwalde.
Yeah, really nice play by Airster there to prevent that and also sweep up the kill there, making sure no one could backdoor. Dogman is pleased. They know this could be the beginning of a comeback in this series. All they need is to finish Eichenwalde. It's a Seoul Dynasty favored map historically, but they can absolutely pull it off.
Well, let's see how far the Reign can make it when we come back to their half.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile.
Welcome back. A successful defense there at the hands of the Atlanta Reign means that the Seoul Dynasty cannot finish their push on Eichenwalde. They get close, about halfway through that final stretch. Now Reign just have to exceed that push, and they will have stopped the map win streak of the Seoul Dynasty and put a map win for themselves on the board.
For the Reign, this is winnable now. You know, they could see the light at the end of the tunnel. They could absolutely turn this series around. This is the first step. And it is going to be mirror again. No variation between these two squads, which is, again, surprising to see with the evolution of this meta, that no one's really experimenting, no one's really pulling away from the 3-3.
And the evolution of just Seoul Dynasty starting rosters. Haven't seen any swaps coming through in that regard, and sticking to that 3-3 as well.
I mean, when it's working, they don't usually swap it up in the middle of a series. Until that map 4, we see sometimes.
That's very true.
And this is a highly list roster as well. He's seen the most playtime this stage.
Got to bump up Jaehong when he's the one getting the least amount of playtime on the team. Got to fix it, it seems. Pokpo taking a lot of damage here in the front. Marble nailing that fire strike to the face. Down to about half HP. They will be able to finish him off here at the end. Munchkin poking in from the sidelines with 100 energy means that everybody suffers heavily, but he oversteps a bit, and BabyB punishes too! Shatter solo on the BabyB just to shut him down.
That can turn this around. That could turn this all around.
Yeah, they will be able to finish off Airster. That was looking like maybe catastrophe with Jaehong and Munchkin going down, but seems like they will be okay. Toby's gonna go taxi them back.
Sometimes when you see these kills, right, when you don't see the context of them, it looks like, oh, okay, well, BabyB wins this Zarya versus Zarya, and Atlanta Reign can turn this, but you see where he is and how he cannot escape and convert that extra damage. Starts at 0 energy again here now. We'll have to build it up for the next grab, which he's 10% away from. Needs to drop some bubbles.
Well, Munchkin gets the grab first, pulls the trigger on that one. Dogman pops that Transcendence, but Pokpo's been taken out. So now no main tank here. Trying to equalize that as Marvel is constantly getting battered. Dako pushing him into the side, but instead gives him a nice little corner to hide in. And now the shield ray seems like he will remain safe. Atlanta Reign going to be held off again as Jaehong punishes Dogman.
It's the proactive Zarya who gets to dictate the battle. And Munchkin had his grab ready just a few percent faster than BabyB, who also had no energy to set up for a good fight. He holds the grab smartly this time, BabyB does, knowing there was no way to turn that fight around. With double support ults available, it's going to be hard to convert this one into a team fight win. It'll take more than that. Maybe an opening pick onto Illicit. He's died a lot early in these fights, or maybe, you know, a big shatter from Pokpo.
Grab out from BabyB, catches Marvel on the cart. No one else able to push forward and try to find a kill and capitalize. Super will get taken down, however. BabyB gonna be finished off. Shatter shot from both sides. Team members knocked to the ground, but the barriers used by Toby and Masa keep everybody else in the fights topped up. But now that the shields are gone, Marvel will be eliminated, and Illicit all alone does not stand a chance. Atlanta Reign finally break through with a minute 15 remaining as they go ahead and get the cap on A.
Dako strikes back, gets the kill on Zumba's Pilot Diva during self-destruct. Means they cannot remech. They use the self-destruct to try to defend against that Graviton Surge. We see the fight go overwhelmingly in favor of the Reign as soon as he is gone. But he's kind of been the backbone of this roster, along with Munchkin in a lot of these fights for the Dynasty. Munchkin's got a grab ready here. And they have the choke advantage, but he has no energy, so tough to use this one straight out the gates. He's gonna have to force a fight first. And maybe hope to build, or force that trance rather, from Dogman.
40 energy, has his self-bubble here, throws the Graviton Surge straight onto the cart. Bomb out from Dako to try to buy a little bit of space with Transcendence from Dogman, keeps everybody else alive. Jaehong nearly with the Transcendence of his own. Needs that to counter the grab, but is now coming through with the shatter. Does wonders as well, knocks only BabyB to the ground, but that's the majority of the damage for the Atlanta Reign. Answering shatter from Pokpo finds absolutely nobody. And now Dynasty can play forward on this corner, try to find some kills. Stun instantly on the Dako, takes him out of the mech. Pokpo just getting pushed back away, denying him those swings to try to get the next shatter online.
This is a really nice position for the Reign though now. They're starting to sweep up the kill. Zumba not going to want to use this remech, just going to drop into pilot form and die. They want to take the fight on the bridge now after the Reign have wrestled back control of this fight. There's some good ult usage there. Popo's later shatter kind of leading into things, but the Dynasty look to actually control the castle up on the high ground rather than fighting on the bridge itself. This is where Toby's had some of his most famous environmental kills throughout his career. We saw it yesterday from Neptuno as well. Very dangerous spot for the Reign.
Have to respect the Boop God, but you see there, up on the rampart set is going to be Dako knocked out of the mech.
Good focus fire by the range damage on the ground here for the Dynasty to punish his positioning. He was trying to stay up high. He will remech with his pistol, and they can't punish him here.
Yeah, but it buys him a little bit more time off the clock. Means that Reign have to be playing a slower pace.
Once he's got it, which he does now, he's gonna have to regroup so that he can try to absorb this Graviton Surge. He's out of position now, though.
Tries to go into the back, the shatter coming down from Popo. The Illstream members and Marvel is left out to dry. This can take it down, but J-Hawk manages to
Listen with the
find
bash!
the bomb. Manages to take down Baby Bay. Eliminates him right before that grab would come online. Answering. Hits
Toby
through, and now Dogman gonna get booped on the side. The boop god Toby comes up with it, but Dako's bomb.
A crazy fight here.
Takes down two. Marvel still trying to stay alive. A sliver of HP remaining as Munchkin tries to protect him with the bubbles. Now Munchkin himself gonna be stunned up, but has that armor coming through the back side of that armor pack from Illicit. Just trying to stay alive. Marvel does get taken down. Popo playing forward, up onto that cart. Solo grab comes through onto Munchkin. They manage to eliminate him. Seoul Dynasty is trying to drain the clock down as much as humanly possible. They take it to about 45 seconds. Cart rolls in, and now it's another 2:15 for the Reign.
What a
Don't
great,
have very far to go.
Great fight for the Reign. Really nice, avoiding really of all the damage from Munchkin. He had 100 energy, and they were able to kill his teammates practically under his nose after Illicit set up that self-destruct with his flail. And this is potentially the beginning of a comeback for Atlanta now. Only the shatter available to try to close this out, and there it is.
Before shatter comes in, manages to find Munchkin. They cannot get that kill, delays the Graviton Surge for just a little bit longer, but now you can see he's got that one ready. Instantly slaps it down. Airster going to be pinned by Marvel. They manage to find the kill, and Popo will fall. Three members gone on the side of the Reign. Baby Bay trying to retreat alongside Dogman, but they will clean them up.
Felt like
Dako survives.
Felt like Popo saw blood in the water there. You know, he really wanted to turn that shatter into the end of this map and what would potentially lead them into the reverse sweep. But it got blocked, low impact, and that was their only real ultimate to fight with previously. This gives Seoul Dynasty the opportunity to catch up in support ultimates. That's their one really big deficit right now. They're fighting in this choke because they know it's tough for the Reign to break through despite their ult advantage because the ults are just not quite online yet. They can play forward.
Bubbles coming through, shatter down from Marvel, doesn't catch anybody for the Reign. Graviton Surge is there. Throws it onto the pillar, catches Marvel by himself. Simba drops the bomb. They're trying to zone them back and keep Marvel alive. They alleviate a lot of pressure for him, so he's still going to be in the fight. Munchkin nearly with the grab of the zone. They need to kill him off. He gets the grab online. The transcendence has already been used. Now the barrier coming through. The shield's going to be expiring, and Baby Bay gets melted down. Everybody on the side of the Atlanta Reign gets absolutely decimated. Masa, the only one retreating. 28 seconds remaining. Atlanta Reign. Just one ultimate up right now. The shatter from Popo versus the shatter from Marvel.
Munchkin practically killed everybody by himself there. He pulled out his lightsaber, spun around. I mean, he grabs in one direction, kills Dako the other. Shatter's blocked.
Oh, goes straight into the shield. Marvels catches Dogman in the back. The fire strike weakening him, and they manage to get several kills as Popo and Airster get taken down. J-Hawk picks off Masa. Dako knocked out of the mech as he tags in to force out the overtime, but no one else can elongate it. Eichenwalde ends here, but the Seoul Dynasty map win streak continues on. They take this series with a 3-0. One more map to be played as they look for another 4-0 win.
11-0 right now in this stage. Several different rosters, each one of them having their unique flair. I mean, this feels like a 4-0 Achilleos.
Yeah, well, Escort coming up next. We'll see what happens.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile.
Welcome back, guys. Seoul Dynasty able to take this match. They have the 3-0. Still one more map to be played as they look for their third consecutive 4-0 in a row. Atlanta Reign just need to get a map win on the board. They were able to take one from the Titans. They should be able to take one here from the Seoul Dynasty. They're going to be fighting tooth and nail for that. But, I mean, it's been a competitive series, but they just can't quite find their exact groove to turn this into a victory.
Yeah, it just feels like a lot of the time Babybay's grabs are either too, they're looking for places where he's looking for too many people getting grabbed at once, or he's looking for, you know, a solo grab that gets cut off because he's caught in a solo grab. Meanwhile, feels like Munchkin's always one step ahead in this matchup. Talking about matchups, if we take a closer look, if you look under the magnifying glass here between Dogman and Jaehong, it's still Jaehong favored here in the Zenyatta versus Zenyatta. Take a look at the stats themselves. They do tell the story here. Final blows 12-2. Currently, Jaehong leads that. And in terms of deaths, they did even out a little bit on a pretty competitive map of Eichenwalde. And you can see in terms of hero damage, Dogman leads overall, but he's unable to convert those, you know, right clicks and left clicks into meaningful, impactful kills.
Yeah. You know, need to be able to get those killing blows, take people out of the fight so you actually have that man advantage moving forward. It's like when you're playing online on ladder and your Widowmaker says, I've got gold damage. I'm like, okay, but you're just body shotting people. You're never eliminating anybody.
Yeah.
But here we go. Jexay is going to be subbing in for Toby.
Well, you've always got to give Toby Eichenwalde, right? Play the first 3 maps really well. And once you cross that threshold, we usually do see Seoul Dynasty sub 1 player out in a 3-0 scenario. And oftentimes that is highly or illicit. This case will be Jexay coming in for Toby. So Jexay and Jaehong, the initial support duo we saw at the beginning of the season. It's a little bit less common nowadays with Toby back in. But see how he performs here on Dorado. The Seoul Dynasty 3-0 in stage 3. They've got Shock, I believe the rematch against Spark coming up. So a little bit of a tougher road ahead. But you know, Atlanta was no easy opponent. I mean, Atlanta's had a great stage 3. And to be able to say I 4-0'd Atlanta right now is something that New York couldn't say. You know?
Yeah.
Shanghai couldn't say. So, I mean, these are...
The Shock couldn't say.
Big wins. The Shock couldn't say. I mean, these are big wins. I mean, each and every map was close, but the Dynasty are potentially about to walk away with a 4-0.
Yeah. Atlanta Reign, I mean, they're on the precipice of being great, of being fantastic. They've gotten so close to taking down these teams that just have all of the accolades so far here in the 2019 season. Just need to tighten up a couple more screws, and then they can be, you know, one of those top teams. They're getting pretty darn close, but yep, as you're pointing out, Dako going to be playing on that Sombra.
Yeah, they've got to change it up at some point. Dogman dies again to Jaehong in the 1v1.
Finds a pick. Now Dako under fire, knocked down to 42 HP.
Tough to stick around there. Remember, Dako got a ton of experience on the Sombra, which is overall a flex tank role right now, as strange as that sounds. You know, they don't really run Dako on Sombra all too often, so it's a little bit uncomfortable for him. And, you know, you never want to be at 22% as the payload rolls towards the fountain here. You need a lot more of that EMP percentage. This is not good enough. Not even close.
Yeah, not really. I mean, you probably expected they would rather have Airster playing it, but Dako maybe just not proficient enough on that Brigida.
I mean,
either way, rough tidings for them. Marvel getting aggressive charges for it, not going to be punished for it. Popo instead is going to be the Rhine taken down. Masa trying to lay on the backside, is going to get picked off, and I mean, that's one of the fastest point A's that I've seen on Dorado in a very long time. 5:25 in the time bank now for the Dynasty.
It was a 6v5 game.
Pretty much.
No impact whatsoever from Dako's Sombra, almost none. He had 2 clips of damage, basically, and that was it. The rest of it was ticking up over time. He swaps back to the Diva. But if you can't build an EMP in one push, you got to be playing something else. You know, no shade meant to be thrown towards one of our league's better Diva players, but the Sombra, not up to par here.
Certainly not looking like it. Baby Bay at least getting a lot of damage in during that push, nearly has the Graviton Surge online. And there's no Transcendence on the side of the Dynasty to try to counter that as Jaehong is operating on this Ana. High ground comes through. It's a perfect angle onto the back of Marvel. Helps take him down, and now Jexy gonna fall as well. So solid stuff from Baby Bay controlling this high ground, leading to several kills and control of the cart.
I like to see the Baby Bay grabs that are not ambitious, but in fact just simply, you know, the right move. You know, when you're guaranteed to get a good grab here, why not just rip the momentum away from the Dynasty? They had one of the faster pushes on Dorado, as you mentioned. It was a smooth sail into A and the Fountain. Now you can control the Fountain choke point again as if you're defending A. You've got so many opportunities. All you need to do is grab, and he's got half of another one in that longer chase.
Being sneaky, speed boost his way
Shatter.
in. Gets a boot coming through, knocks him up into the air. Set up for that Shatter. Answering Shatter comes through from Marvel. Manages to find Moss with the Transcendence step to Dogman to keep everybody alive. So far, so good for the Reign as they try to maintain this forward defensive position. Bomb doesn't get anything, and Masa will be taken down, though, so maybe it's time to call the retreat. Dako is getting 2v1 at the moment. Will push down, picks up that Mega Pack, but now he's cut off from the rest of his squad. Grab comes out from Baby Bay. Continuing the fight, forces the Transcendence from Jaehong, who just swapped over onto the Zenyatta and built that one up pretty quickly. And they turned it on its head.
I mean, you've lost Dako, he's away, you're fighting 5v6, and these are the ambitious grabs that are not working well for Baby Bay. You know, if you're an Atlanta fan, you're frustrated in this moment because you know Baby Bay is capable of more. He's taking risks in a game 4 where you've already lost the series, Dako's gone, and you're taking this fight that's nigh unwinnable. Instead of saving the grab for something more impactful like holding the contest on B, that's a tool gone now.
Rallies out from both sides. Jaehong takes a little bit of poke damage at the beginning and fire strike through from Marvel as he tries to get that Shatter online. Will now have it. Drops the hammer on the side, catches 2. Dogman taken down just moments before he can get that Transcendence online. Actually caught Masa as well with the charge, so 2-for-1 special on supports for Marvel. You take those wins. The cart just cruises into B. Still a very healthy time bank here for the Dynasty for the final stretch. 4 minutes. As they get ready to roll through, and people are still getting picked. Dogman just respawned, and Jaehong takes his head off again.
Dako hands off the keyboard, head in his hands after that one. I mean, Seoul Dynasty is surfing through this map. They are riding the wave. Grabs out, long range, goodbye.
Down the long hallway, Baby Bay gets eliminated.
Fire at will, indeed.
This does free up for Dogman to use the Transcendence during a more normal fight with no Graviton Surges, though.
Yeah, I mean, you're really looking at the silver linings here, aren't you? We've got the high ground controlled.
You gotta look at something for the Reign.
Yeah, Zumba's pushing the cart alone, doing some extra damage. Here's the bomb. Nice angle.
Back, looking for Airstare, unable to find it. Lands right into that door frame, gets blocked out on 2 sides. Dako's bomb, however, does take down Jaehong, just a couple percent away from getting that Transcendence, which could have saved his life. Instead, does get taken down. This very brawly fight coming through, but Munchkin is getting slowly chipped down, will be eliminated, and Atlanta Reign manage to hold out here.
Yeah, very scary moment there for the Reign, and the bomb came through and the team was cut in half. They kept Poco alive for so long. A lot of resources were burned trying to kill him by the Dynasty, and they're able to win the fight with the man advantage they had. And now Baby Bay's got another grab. And with even footing, you would expect that this one will, again, will be one of those reasonable, you know, realistic Graviton Surges, not the ambitious one. In this choke, though, you know, again, you gotta be careful because you can't block the healing from the Transcendence if you try to grab this choke. So you want to wait till they come out and you cut them in half.
Rally comes through, grab gonna be dropped down. Marvel knocked to about half the Transcendence from Jaehong. Does help to keep him alive.
Can't block that healing.
Well, shield comes in, Poco. Managing to stay in the fight, approaching that next Shatter. Grab lopped in from Munchkin, gets onto the back angle. Marvel pins Airster out of the fight. And Munchkin is still just commanding the high ground. The Shatter from Poco looking good. Marvel will be taken down, but now it's going to be an exchange on the Reinhardts.
Zuma, another pistol kill as well on Poco as he tries to remech. Insane.
finish him off. Now Munchkin, still high energy, looks for Airster with the help of Jaehong. They managed to take him down the cart, approaching. A minute and 40 remaining. Continuing, try to inch their way forward. Swap over onto the wrecking ball, comes out from Pokepo. Baby drops in the Graviton Surge, costs Marvel his life. They get rid of the hamster, now they look for more. Baby gonna be taken down. Dako nearly knocked out of the mech, will be suffering that fate now as Munchkin finishes him off, but his team on his back, another grab coming through. Locks him away from the cart. They manage to get Pokepo into the back, but he does not stand a chance. Munchkin is just an absolute monster of a Zarya right now. Triple kill on the back end, looking for more as Dako desperately tries to buy some time. They would love to force this as low as humanly possible, but it looks like it's gonna be right around a minute and 2 seconds on the finish. Seoul Dynasty make it to the end of Dorado.
Rough start here for the Rain on our final map. It's tough, you know, they started with the Sombra, didn't find any value, so insane time bake from the outset. After that, you know, we saw that one advantage they had, that grab advantage, kind of tossed away after Dako got caught alone. They lost, I believe, Airster. So they lose that grab, then they can't contest B, so B goes over to the Dynasty. And then when you're looking at the C push, they win a few fights there, but then kind of throw it all away. And again, a lot of this is on the back of Graviton Surges from Baby that in the moment look like they're really going to get value. It's a big grab, it's in a choke point, you know, how can they defend? But the healing is always there from Jaehong, and sometimes they're just not able to get, you know, either Airster or Pokepo into position to block the healing or get a charge kill. Any of these U-turns just isn't happening the way that the Atlanta Reign are planning for it to. Baby may run the Sombra here. This is not, you know, off the table by any means. Dako has flexed to Zarya in the past, and you know, his old team Element Mystic has mastered the art of flexing Diva players onto Zarya's now, back at Hanbin, etc. The Sombra Doomfist, but that's another topic for another time. See if that ever makes it into the Overwatch League as a meta. Baby, you know, he's a DPS player that is kind of been forced to play the Zarya because of the meta. We'll see how he does when he's, but perhaps in something, at least historically for him, more comfortable on the Sombra.
Well, we'll be sticking with it, at least for the beginning here. Gonna wrap around, get onto that high ground target. That's okay, they're gonna be thrown down. Sees that Munchkin takes a lot of damage, gets a hack onto him right as he drops down. They finish him off, he's right up into his face. It's that melee hit, but Munchkin's still gonna be alive here for the moment.
A lot of damage though. He's done a lot more than Dako did on the Sombra in terms of building ult charge. And that's sometimes what it's all about.
Yeah. Solid enough start. 100 energy here for Dako. People are gonna have to start showing some major respect to the Zarya as Marvel keeps getting pushed towards the cart. Haven't been able to punish him fully yet though, but listen! Gonna get beaten down, Dako. High energy, just so dangerous, comes up with a double kill here. Fantastic start for the Atlanta Reign as they start pushing this card forward. Jaehong does have a Transcendence online, but now he's gonna have a run back.
This looks,
try to recontest A.
This looks way cleaner, this variation of the Sombra, than we saw previously. Baby's getting impactful hacks and doing good damage. And Dako, obviously well versed on the Diva, or excuse me, on the Zarya. Not as much as he is on the Diva, but he's got the Graviton Surge online. This A contest is going to be tough for the Dynasty, especially with EMP.
Drop down comes through. Grab first out from Munchkin, now matched by Dako. Masa trying to stay alive. The Transcendence from Dogman. Perfectly timed, barely keeps him in the fight. Shadow down from Marvel, knocks down 3. EMP out from Baby Bay, manages to catch 2. Jaehong going to be eliminated. Zumba going to be knocked out of the mech just before Jexay drops the beat, puts that shielding out onto his teammates. Still a winnable fight for Rain, but Dako does get taken down. Masa still with a sliver of HP trying to survive.
This is a 4v6. That Soul is turning around. Absolutely nuts. Huge play by Jexay. He gets the sound barrier and he turns it around. The later support ultimate.
To make that a 2 for 1 in the back end, but chasing forward, Dogman and Pokepo just both going to be eliminated.
In this crazy fight too, that Seoul Dynasty turn around off the back of Jexay rolling in with the barrier. Baby builds another EMP because it's a long fight, it's nuts. So they have another tool here. There's no answer for the EMP. If Rain can't win this fight, when they have Trance advantage and EMP, I don't think they're ever going to take A.
Well, Jaehong is feeling confident. He thinks that he is the answer. He swapped over to the Ana, looking for that sleep dart, but not going to be able to find it here as the EMP comes through. This time catching 4 members of the Seoul Dynasty. And that will be the cleanup coming in. As Atlanta Reign will be allowed to push forward into A, bump up that time bank.
You've got a 62-second time bank on C. You know, might as well flex over to the Ana. You're the world's most famous Ana, after all. If you hit the sleep, you're the hero, and the map ends on A. If you don't, maybe you head back and swap over to the Zenyatta. They can operate around the Ana one more time here because halfway to the Nano Boost, and they do have high ground for the grenades. And it's a D.Va-less composition, so bio grenades can connect here around this corner from the high ground very well.
He's got a great angle to just kind of set up on the top. Grab going to be coming through from Munchkin, taking the fight down onto the cart. Shatter comes down, catches nothing. Jaehong playing forward, battle on it coming in, but now the Graviton Surge comes through, and Taco beeline straight in for Jaehong. Takes him down, finishes off both supports himself. And now, Reign, they're starting to steamroll through this street.
They certainly are, and they're close to another EMP. The idea there for Jaehong, I don't believe he used the bio grenade from high ground, was to just run in and bio grenade after the Graviton Surge, but just didn't happen that way. And he's got a Nano now, but not a great target for that in this comp, except perhaps to force Marvel into somewhere he shouldn't be, you know, give him that practically immortal state where he can push forward.
Hack from the low ground, BabyBay finds Illicit, delays them from that drop down. Marvel goes down by himself, was at half, the nano healing comes through. He gets stunned up, the shatter from Popo looking good. Healed Eye only onto Airster. The rest of Reign is sitting pretty, have that sound barrier shield through. As they sustain cleanly through that fight.
Just a low impact Ana here, unfortunately, for Jaehong. I mean, no bio grenades connecting. The Nano Boost, as I said, puts Marvel somewhere where, you know, ordinarily he wouldn't be able to reach, but they're playing around it so well. They just stun him repeatedly and prevent him from doing anything impactful in that moment. Jaehong's still going to stick with the Ana, and the sound barrier is the only answer for this EMP. So if Jexay gets caught, lights out on this fight.
Well, EMP comes through, catches only two. The barrier does come through from Jexay. Healed Eye now on to two members from the side of the Atlanta Reign, and both will fall.
When Jexay used to be on the same squad as Pokpo and Dako, his opponents here in this, when they were the Contender Season 1 Element Mystic, you know, it was a Sombra meta, a different one. And he was super well known for catching these EMPs with a barrier, preventing them from getting value. And in this case, it wasn't the greatest EMP of all time, but he again hits those barriers against his opponents, former teammates. BabyBay's gonna have to build another one here if they want to have that time bank match. I mean, they're in a good spot. They're on track for it if he could just keep hitting these EMP timings faster than Jexay can get the barrier.
Dako, grab in his back pocket, but low energy, only gets 8 for putting that bubble forward on a Popo. BabyBay gets slapped. Can they get the kill on him though?
Yep.
The answer's yeah. Yeah, they can. Zumba
Finally
tosses that self-destruct to take him down.
And finally, the Ana, I mean, it really comes through this time. Otherwise, it's in a lot of ways, it feels like Seoul is playing with one hand tied behind their back because it hasn't been very impactful here in terms of setting up bio grenades or sleeps. It has been great for solo target healing to empower Marvel and Munchkin. So Munchkin can build high energy, Marvel can do a lot of damage, put some extra pressure on the front line. But this is the big one.
Grab comes in, Transcendence out from Dogman. Pin goes out into the back, and Airson can take it down, and someone denies Taco the grab. Noms that one up, and then pushes forward to kill off Dogman for the, I don't even know how many times it's been. Dynasty, they hold him off again, and they ensure that they will have a superior time bank if Atlanta can finish the map.
Massive stagger onto Dako and Poco there, excuse me. And now the Dynasty have this opportunity to really just solidify better time bank. If they could buy enough time to get Jexay a sound barrier before BabyBay can EMP by just simply disengaging and playing behind, they may be able to hold this just straight up and win the map here. Zumba finds BabyBay. That's the first great start. Force him to translocate.
Yeah, they know exactly where he is, but Dogman and Masa both get taken down. One more attempt here as the kills come through for Seoul Dynasty. Atlanta Reign just have to reset.
They win both sides of the fight. It's Zumba who finds BabyBay and prevents him from EMPing. Atlanta Reign was in out of position because they were reliant on that EMP hitting and they wanted to be in position to follow up. But because the EMP never happened and Baby had to translocate away, Pokepo's not in position to block the Shatter. Shatter comes through. Now Jexay's got a sound barrier and BabyBay's EMP should, in theory, just simply be shut down. Look at Jexay, see him in the back. You can see that silhouette. Number 13, he's looking to shut this down.
Translocate up over the top. EMP comes down. Just 5 members on the side of Seoul Dynasty, but the bomb takes out Dogman, and Popo falls in the fight. Lanta Rain.
Sleep.
The last leg here. Mazza gets taken down to the back of the sleep dart from Jae Hong. He might not be nailing too many onto the Sombra, but it doesn't matter because everybody else that gets hit by that is just immediately taken down. Taco bubbles it here, but the solo grab comes in just for good measure to finish him off. Popo does not find anything with the Earth Shatter, and that is it. They hold him just past the door. Seoul Dynasty, they find another consecutive 4-0 victory.
Popping out of his seat is Munchkin when that match ends. 12-0, this stage, unstoppable, several different rosters. And Jexay gets an opportunity to beat former teammates here in Dako and Pokpo on the big stage in the Overwatch League. No one could have expected Seoul would dominate this series with a 4-0. The match itself was closer than the 4-0 will show, but the results, I mean, it's hard to see that coming. The only team to shut the rain down, shut them out. You know, again, we mentioned it before. New York couldn't do it. Shock couldn't do it.
Titans couldn't do it.
Titans couldn't do it. I mean, this is a pretty big deal. I mean, people are not looking at Seoul Dynasty as maybe a top 3 team this stage, but we got to start asking the question. We really do.
They're really starting to climb up those standings. I mean, they look great, and just you never know which roster they're going to bring out on the day, so it's so hard to prepare for this squad. But guys, we've got the man himself down on the floor. Ryu Jae Hong standing by for an interview with Danny Lim. So Danny, take it away.
Well, Felix, thank you very much. That is correct. I am standing right next to the sexiest man in Overwatch League, Mr. Ryu Jae Hong Sexy. Congratulations on your victory. Now, this is an amazing stage for the Seoul Dynasty. 3-0, actually 12-0 currently. Do you believe this stage is going to be a perfect stage for Seoul Dynasty? 이번 스테이지, 서울 다이너스티에게 퍼펙트한 스테이지가 될 수 있을 거라고 생각하시나요?
처음에는 이런 생각 못 했는데 지금 기세라면 할 수 있을 것 같습니다.
At first, I didn't really believe that it was possible, but if the things are going as it is right now, I believe we could have that perfect stage. All right, and also, talking about perfect stage, in order for you guys to have the perfect stage, you guys are going to have to beat the San Francisco Shock, Stage 2 champions, tomorrow, which happens to be the match of the week as well. How confident are you that you could beat San Francisco Shock tomorrow? 센쇼과의 경기 내일 얼마나 자신감 있습니까?
솔직히 지금 샌프란시스코 쇼크가 제일 잘하는 팀이라 생각하고 있고 제일 잘하고 있다고 생각을 하고 있고 근데 저희가 지금 기세가 많이 좋기 때문에 그래도 해볼만 하지 않나 싶습니다.
I currently believe that San Francisco Shock is one of the strongest teams in the league currently, but also our team, Seoul Dynasty, is performing very, very well. So I believe it's going to be a good match tomorrow. And also, Jae-hong, today we have a lot of Jae-hong fans in the crowd. A lot of them. Do you see that person right there? Someone has a Ryu Jae-hong face on a blanket. 재홍 선수의 얼굴이 저 담요 같은 데다가 누가 이렇게 만든 것 같은데 저 혹시 만든 건가요? Did you guys make it? 만드신 건가요? She did. Yeah, she did make it. How does that make you feel? 어떤가요? 저렇게 좀 많은 좀 좋은 팬분들이 멀리서 오시고 또 재홍 선수를 위해서 담요에다가 얼굴까지 그려서 이렇게 오셨는데 어떠신가요?
저 담요 작년에도 봤었고요. 그 전에도 봤었고 이제 저희 이제 뭐 서울 다이너스티 팬분들이나 제 팬분들이 이렇게 멀리 와서 응원해 주셔서 저희가 지금 정말 좋게 시작하고 있는 것 같고요. 저희 팬분들 때문에 저희가 정말 지금 잘하고 있는 것 같습니다. 정말 고맙습니다.
Alrighty, I've actually seen that blanket 2 years ago. I've seen it last year, and I'm seeing it again. But I really want to thank all the fans because I feel like we're performing how we are currently this well, thanks to all the beautiful fans all over the world, Seoul Dynasty fans. So thank you guys so much. Thank you, Jae-hong. Everybody, make some noise for Jae-hong one more time. Wolf and Achilles, back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Danny. Always good to hear from Jae Hong, and seen the blanket before. We've seen his performances on Zenyatta and Ana before, still holding up to that golden standard. But let's go ahead and figure out who our player of the match is, presented by Omen by HP. And it's none other than Zumba, who is really just giving the Atlanta Reign one heck of a time.
Oh, he certainly was. I mean, he is so good on the flanks. He's chasing and killing Dogman down, forcing him to trance early in a lot of these fights. There were many absorbs on Graviton surges throughout this fight. We didn't even have to see him flex onto the Zarya because of how well the Dynasty played the 3-3 here. And he and Munchkin together really tore apart the front line. He got several pilot kills as well while using self-destruct. The guy was a monster in this series.
114 eliminations, 18 deaths, and 43 final blows. That is a lot as a diva. So, you know, not the flashy self-destruct kills coming through, but he was just getting work done with just the normal kit of diva. Fantastically done from Zuba, very well deserved. But guys, we're not done yet. We have plenty more Overwatch coming up. To all of our viewers on Disney XD, thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to continue watching, head over to ESPN or twitch.tv/Overwatch League because we have Dallas Fuel going up against the Vancouver Titans in just a bit.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Toyota, official North American partner of the Overwatch League. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey man, what's up?
You need anything for today?
Nah man, I think I'm set.
Big day today, man?
Yeah, huge. Let's play some Overwatch.